Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to Planetarian, the Reverie of a Little Planet, where the battle against the Fiddler Crab has taken a turn for the worse, as both Fiddler Crab and Mr. Customer have taken decisive blows. I could hear a sound of reminiscent of a thundercloud's I could hear a sound reminiscent of a thundercloud's crackling. Its condenser coils were charging. For my part, I could hear the sound of things underfoot and the echoes arising thereof. My eyes would not open, as if they had been run through with splinters. The hood of my waterproof cloak had been ripped off, and so I could feel fragments of concrete falling on me directly overhead. No, these were drops of rain. The rain was simply continuing to fall, as if not a single thing had changed. I had absolutely no idea where I was. I was probably several meters from my starting point, but I didn't know anything other than that. One of my feet got snagged on something, and I tumbled to the ground. My grenade launcher rolled from my hands. The inside of my mouth was cut, and I could taste lukewarm blood spreading out from within. The Fiddler Crab let out a shriek. I collapsed on the ground as fragments of concrete and glass pelted my waterproof cloak like many tiny bullets. It had hit a building that was very close to me. All I could do was cover my head with my arms and endure it. A few large fragments hit me directly on my back. I could feel the warmth of blood soaking my undergarments and the crevices of my skin. So I too was breaking down in the midst of this rain. There was no pain. The only thing was that it was incredibly difficult to breathe. Any more than this, and I wouldn't be able to take a single step further. Even if my eyes were shut, it was easy to tell where the Fiddler Crab was just by the sound. The 3 remaining legs would not be strong enough to absorb the recoil of the LERC. Every single time it moved, it was destroying its own frame by itself. Every single time it moved, the outcry of warped metal and shredded carbon fiber resonated dissonantly in the air. These sounds were nothing other than its death agony. I think he said, "It's gone mad." I couldn't tell. I muttered as if someone else could hear my words. Just what had gone mad? Was it this battle mech, which had so lost itself in anger that it was burying everything around it, including the city that it was supposed to protect, without regard to friend or foe? Or was it this sarcophagus city, which had ceased to function so long ago, and in which now only lived the rain and the memories of those who had once inhabited it? Or perhaps it was laughing. Beyond the rain-soaked wind, that out-of-order battle mech was laughing shrilly. All of the sounds were distorted and yet very distinctly audible. The Fiddler Crab stopped, and then assumed a firing stance. Even if its leg was broken, there was no way I would be able to get out of its sights now. Right. This time around, it would definitely not miss its enemy. That is, unless it had a sliver of reason or mercy left in it. I tried to open my eyes. It was to see for myself the shape of the death that I had been rewarded with. The fiddler crab had stopped moving. She was standing there in the middle of the buffer zone. At some point, she had flung off the waterproof cloak that I had given her. With a tender smile on her face, she stood before the gigantic battlemech. It was like a scene from an antique religious painting. Without any hesitation at all, she walked towards the fiddler crab. It was a calm, sure gait, like that one would display when one walked forth to greet an old friend. The fiddler crab appeared bewildered. It had disengaged from firing position and was scanning her with its civilian detection sensors. I forcibly slammed myself back into reality, trying to overcome my paralysis. I only had one chance to destroy it, and it was now. I found the grenade launcher that I had dropped in a puddle. I fumbled to crack open the barrel and finally managed to load it with my last AP cartridge. If I wanted to strike its armored upper surface from ground level, I would have no choice but to fire at a high angle. I did not have the time to adjust my sights either. With my back still plastered to the mud, I eyeballed the distance to the gun turrets, and then pointed my grenade launcher at the sky. And then, in the span of several seconds, it all happened. The twin machine gun turrets slowly started to revolve, as if they had finally decided on something. She simply continued to walk toward the fiddler crab, step by step. I pressed the trigger. The fiddler crab's machine gun spat out flames. The 40mm canister arced through the threatening sky, trailing white fumes behind it. The line of 13mm machine gun rounds kicked up a path of water towards her like a murderous red serpent. The canister hit. I could see the fiddler crab's main cannon seeming to expand. The ammunition bay hatch blew asunder, letting smoke and leaping flames billow forth. The fiery serpent continued to track toward her delicate body, as if to eat her alive. And then, her body, torn apart by the bullets, danced in the air like a bird. The rain continued to fall. The fiddler crab had fallen completely silent. As if it had returned to sanity at its last moment, it had swiveled so that the long barrel of its railgun was pointing toward the rift in the quarantine wall. However, that gun would never fire again. The ammunition inside the main armament had all been induced to explode, and black smoke was rising from the crevices in the armor plating. This was a sight that could be seen anywhere in this dead city. It was freezing cold, and my breath frosted white. The widely scattered wreckage was steaming in the rain. I walked forward, pulling my broken leg behind me and following the bullet marks in the ground. And I finally arrived at where she lay. Her shaking lips opened and clearly called out to me.
喋れるのか。
はい、緊急作動用電池に切り替えました。お客様、お怪我はございませんか？
俺が戻るまで動くなと言っただろう。なぜこんなバカなことをした。
And just as usual, she smiled. Her fingertips, dirtied by the mud, were gently trembling. Underneath fractures in her skin, a dark metallic frame was forlornly exposed.
暴走状態にあると思われる未登録機体に強制停止信号を発信しましたが受講されませんでした。信号出力が弱い、もしくは受信側に問題が発生していると判断し、物理操作での緊急停止を試みましたが失敗しました。
Why is your voice different? These were her words, and yet these were not her words.
暴走状態にある機体は現在機能を停止していると思われます。
This was an incantation totally unrelated to the will that had been sealed within the depths of her main memory.
該当する機体から速やかに離れ、最寄りの警察機関もしくはサポートセンターにご連絡ください。
After she said all of this, she looked over at me once again and blinked as if she was relieved.
収容命令を破ってしまい申し訳ありませんでした。もっと古い約束事があるものですから。人間に危害を加えたり人間に危害が及ぶのを看過してはならない。私たちはロボットです。ですからこれは忘れることのできない約束です。これを守ることが私たちロボットの誇りです。
She said that it was her honor. That the instinct that the human beings who had never cared about anything other than themselves had embedded into her was an honor.
お客様、お怪我はございませんか？お怪我はございませんか？
ああ、俺は大丈夫だ。
That was all I could manage.
本当に良かったです。
And again she smiled.
お預かりした雨具と花束はあちらの歩道に置いてあります。この道を少しお戻りになればすぐに見つかると思います。
She turned her neck as if to show me the way. Her eyes caught the wreckage of the battle mech.
彼に代わって心よりお詫び申し上げます。きっと彼も壊れていたんだと思います。私たちロボットは人間の皆様の幸せのためにありますから、あのような乱暴なことは本当はしたくなかったんだと思います。私にはわかります。私も少しだけ 壊れていますから。
I put my arm around her back, just so I could hold her close. She shivered several times as if she was having convulsions. Everything below her chest had been torn asunder by machine gun fire. There was no way to put her back together now. So many precise parts were dispersed throughout the rain, similar to entrails made of metal. It seemed that if I tried to move her even just a little bit, she might never move again. I wanted to scream. I was just as broken as she was. There was still a squad of warmongers defending these ruins. Now that I had destroyed its vanguard, the remaining warmongers would be swarming toward this location. If I was going to escape, the time was now. But despite this, here I was, unable to leave this place.
およそ600秒で緊急作動用電池が残量ゼロになります。バックアップ用電池が消耗しているので、その後は起動不能となります。メンテナンスコールを発信していますが、受講されません。サポートセンターは現在通信不能です。緊急用サテライトコールを発信していますが、中継衛星が見つかりません。少しだけ心細いです。
She said, as if in jest, continuing to smile the same as ever. She was listening into empty space with her antennas that were no longer of any use. She was calling for aid that would never come, no matter what. I found that I was unable to bear watching her do this.
誰も呼ばなくていい。俺が助けてやる。
ですが、
俺が直してやるから。
Blue and white sparks flew as the rain hit the exposed machinery at her chest, now bereft of insulation or lead sheet. As if she were following my gaze, she said with embarrassment,
お見苦しくて申し訳ありません。ですが、ご安心ください。私はロボットですから、苦痛を感じることはありません。筐体を修理することもできますし、新しい筐体に交換することもできます。
Yet her tone and her facial expression seemed to me to be the deepest agony. I already knew that the engineers who would be able to repair her, as well as the new enclosure that she wanted, and even those people who needed her, they were all the things that had disappeared from this world so long ago. She smiled and looked up at the rain for some time. And then she turned to face me again.
そのようなお顔をされては、私はとても困ってしまいます。私はロボットです。 客様の笑顔が一番大切です。それなのにお客様に失礼ばかりしています。
The sound of her vertebral motors echoed like bitter wheezing. She bent herself back quietly, and then proudly showed me a nameplate glinting in the rain.
ですが、皆さん喜んでくれます。また来るね、ゆめみちゃんと私に言ってくれます。私はみんな覚えています。私はロボットですから覚えておくのは得意なんです。少しだけお見せしますね。
I should have ended this a while back, so I'll be ending it here. Thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.